Stop pulling golf shots. Are you sick of pulling your golf shots out to the left, getting into trouble? In this next video, I'm going to show you why you might be doing that and a fantastic drill to fix it, to get you hitting the ball straight again. Let's get into it. So you want to know how to stop pulling golf shots, and most likely if you're pulling shots you're ending up into a lot of trouble on the left side of the golf course if you're a right-handed golfer. Now, very important, what I'm going to cover in this video is that there's not just one way that you pull golf shots. Most golfers think that there's only one way, an over the top move that makes you pull the golf shots to the left. There's actually two different ways it could be happening. I'm going to go into detail about those, and I'm going to give you a drill that's going to tie in and fix up all of those issues to get you hitting the golf ball straight again. Okay, let's look at the two ways why you might be pulling your golf shots and how you can stop pulling golf shots by rectifying these. So, as I mentioned in the intro, there's two reasons why you might be pulling golf shots. Now, typically most people are aware of this, but I'm going to cover it anyway. I'm just going to pop down a ball here. Most golfers, I'm talking about mid to high handicappers, you'll be pulling the golf ball simply because as you make your backswing, as you start your downswing, typically your hands will get further away from your body. They'll come out like this instead of coming down, and you'll come across the ball like that. Typically your over the top move you've probably heard about, where you just upper body moves first in the downswing and you just pull straight across it and the ball goes left. That's typically what most golfers do. And when I'm talking about pulling the golf ball, I'm just talking about the golf ball for a right-hander going straight left. It's not starting straight and curving, it's just going straight left. That's what I believe most sort of those mid to high handicappers are doing. But there's another way that could be causing you to pull your golf shots. This is something I used to do, and it could be to do with your grip, having too strong a grip and becoming too flippy in your action. So from down the line, you might be someone that comes down on a decent path, but you have a very strong grip. And if you're very flipping and you have a strong grip, it's very easy, I'll show you this from down towards the camera, it'll be a lot clearer, to get that ball going straight left. If I've got a strong grip here and I really flip, have a look at that face. It's just going straight left. If I have a strong grip with my left grip and I really flip too quickly for my body, that ball will go straight left. So the over the top move would be one reason it's happening. The other reason, I believe, is too strong a grip, and flipping, too handsy in the downswing could be another reason why your shots are going left while you're pulling it left. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus one. This is probably the most obvious of all. If you're hitting the golf ball left or pulling it straight left off the tee or with your irons, check your alignment. I see this so often on the golf course. Golfers are confused why the ball's going in a certain direction. I'll stand behind them and their body is aligned exactly where that ball's going. So if I'm aiming at this target here, make sure your feet are parallel to your target line and your club head is aimed at that target line. We don't want the feet like this. We definitely don't want them open like this, which is very common. Quite often what will happen is your club head will swing down the path of your feet, and guess which way that ball's going? Straight left. And you'll be pulling them all day long. So get your aim and alignment sorted first. I'll pop a video up above that'll go into a bit more detail about getting that right. But those are the reasons why you're pulling the golf ball. So some simple things to fix that before we go into this drill. So for the grip issue, for the club head issue, for getting those pulls, the first thing I would look at is the strength of your grip. So I like to have what I would call a strong grip would be something like this, having almost 3 knuckles visible on that left hand. That's a very strong grip, and having the right hand too far under the grip, you'll see when I do that, without even trying, that club head just wants to turn in like this. This is a very strong grip. That club head just wants to turn in without even trying. So the first thing I would do is get more of a neutral grip, just sort of showing a couple of knuckles on that left hand, And having the grip, the palm more neutrally, not like this on top and not like this underneath, but sort of a lot flatter in that neutral sort of position there. That way, it's much easier to have that club face square at impact and stop you pulling those golf shots. And the reason you'll know this is more of a club head issue rather than a path issue with that over the top is check your divots. If your divots are fairly straight, particularly with your eyes, if you find your divots are fairly straight behind the ball and you still can't understand why the ball's going left, most likely it's a grip issue and too flippy with your hands. And the best way to do that is fix it with the grip. The other way is to make sure you're rotating correctly or rotating enough. Quite often, if you're pulling the golf ball left, you just, as you're swinging, you're just doing all hands and arms. You're not really rotating that body. If you can practice rotating the body with the club head, sort of moving everything together, you'll keep that club face a lot squarer. Rotate through, the club face will be a lot squarer and you'll hit the ball straight and have a lot less shots going to the left. So down towards the camera, rotate. So really slowly, you see as I come down, I start that downswing, as I rotate, look at that club head, nice and square. Rotate through and get that neutral grip, and that'll fix the first part of the issue if you're someone that really flips and has too strong a grip. Okay, if you've identified it's more of a path issue while you're pulling the golf ball, this is going to work great for you. Now, if you want to know why you think it might be a path issue that is your problem, not a club head issue, have a look at your divots. Now, this will be a lot more tricky with the driver, but with your irons, if your divots for a right-hander, if they're going too far left, a little bit left is okay, but if they're going hard left, there's a very good chance as you're coming down, you're coming over the top and pulling the ball straight in that left direction. There's a very good chance that. So with driver, it's a little bit harder to see, whereas this is where video or someone having a look at your swing is really, really handy, really picks up that over the top move. So let's look at what we can do to stop you pulling those golf shots if it's a path issue. So first thing I like to do, have a look at where that ball is in your setup. Now, I'll show you this from a couple of different angles. If you have that ball too far forward, I've just got a 9-iron here. Now, normally I'd want that ball somewhere around about the middle of my stance. Now, if I was to put it somewhere like too far forward like this, what does that do to my swing? Well, you have a look at this from down the line. This would be my ideal position. You'll see here, my legs, my upper body is relatively parallel to where I'm aiming. Watch what happens when I move this forward. Without even really doing anything, what's happened? First thing that's happened, my shoulders have opened up. And the further you move the ball forward in your stance, the more your upper body opens up and the more chance you've got of your swing coming out to in on the downswing. So let's look at that again. This is with the ball right up in my stance. You see my shoulders are nice and open. And what it does is it gives the club head more time to close before it gets to the ball. You can imagine I've got that ball way forward. That club head's got all this time, that extra time on the way down, before it gets to the ball. It's already shutting. That ball's going to go left. But if I can get it somewhere in the center, of my stance there, by the time the club head gets down to the ball, it's much squarer. I've got a better chance of hitting straight golf shots. So just that slight little adjustment in your ball position. Now with your driver, yes, you've got to have the ball forward, but don't have it too far forward that really opens up your upper body. With your driver, you could counteract that by, if you've got the ball forward, just feel like you turn your shoulders a little bit square and that you don't get them in that really open position. That really fix up the path and stop pull shots to the left. Now the other thing I'd like to mention for the path thing that will really help you, as you set up to the ball, that right foot for a right-hander, make sure it's flared out and pointing on a bit of a 45-degree angle. That enables you to get a better rotation in your backswing. Allows your hands and arms to get a little bit deeper in your backswing so that you can come more from the inside in the downswing, and you have a better chance of hitting the ball straight and even getting a draw instead of the ball going way left. A lot of the time I see golfers, they have this right foot almost pointing straight at the camera here, and that really inhibits your rotation. When you can't rotate properly, it makes it a lot easier to come over the top and get those hands pushing further away from you and cutting across the golf ball. So make sure that right foot is flared out, just in this position here. Make sure it's flared out, and that'll enable you to get a better rotation and easier to get from the inside. So from this angle, got it flared out, much easier to get from the inside, hit a lot straighter golf shots. So that's what I'd work on if it's a path issue. Now the next part of the video I'm going to show you that really simple drill that ties this all in together so you'll stop pulling golf shots. Okay, here's my favourite drill to help you stop pulling golf shots. I've used this drill for a number of years and actually fixes a lot of other golf problems as well. So it's a great one to practice at home without hitting any actual golf balls. And you can also take it to the driving range, use it as well. And it's great for fixing just a number of issues. If the path is the issue, if the club face is the issue, this will help you stop pulling golf shots. So this is called the 2-ball drill, but you can actually do this without using actual balls as reference point. You can use tees, which I'll show you in a moment. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to pop 2 balls down, one here, and another one here. So I'm going to do this fairly wide apart, but I'm putting these balls on an angle. What I'm going to be aiming to do is basically hit right between them without hitting the balls. Now, in this example here, I've probably got it about, I don't know, the width of my, sort of my index finger and my thumb apart. But as you're starting this, you can obviously make it a bit wider, just till you feel comfortable. What I'm aiming to do is put my club head right in the middle here and make nice easy swings and not hit those balls. Now, what this does is this trains you to swing on a slightly more inside path. Now, if we can swing on a slightly more inside path, we will hit the ball a lot straighter. We'll even develop a little bit of a draw. And it's really difficult to pull the ball when you're swinging on that sort of path, really difficult. So what we're going to do, we'll set up to one here. I'll do it nice and slow. We miss those balls and we've got a really good chance of hitting a solid golf shot. So I'll show you this from down towards the camera so you get another look at it. So we'll put one down here. Hopefully you can see this okay. Again, as you get better at this, you can put the golf balls closer together to make it more challenging. So you set your club up with the ball at the back, take our setup. We're just going to swing nice and smooth. We miss those balls nicely. It's really going to help out the path, but also helps out if you're someone that has the club face issue and you do too much of this, you'd crash into this ball on the left here, no problem at all, because the club head just spins open. You're going to crash into that second ball. So it really fixes both issues. It will fix a number of other issues, particularly path related issues in your golf swing, but I encourage you to practice this 2-ball drill at home first. Do at least 20 reps a day and really work that. It'll just get your whole path and your club face relationship on a much better plane through the ball, and you become a lot more consistent, and you'll stop pulling those golf shots really fast. Drop a comment down below if you've tried this drill to stop pulling golf shots. Maybe you've tried another drill that's worked a lot more effective, or maybe you don't agree this is the best drill to stop pulling your golf shots. Drop a comment down below. I will reply to every comment. There you have it. Now you know how to stop pulling golf shots. Now, very important before you go on, above this I'll have a couple of videos that go into a bit more detail about shallowing the golf club in the downswing. This is important because if you can shallow the golf club, you'll have a better chance of hitting it straight and stop pulling the golf club left as well. So below the video I'll have a link to my 3 secret moves video. That's 100% free. Make sure you click on that and get a hold of that. There'll be another link to some further golf instruction that I know will help you out. Make sure you click on that. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Pop them down below. I will reply to every single comment. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.